G'day folks, just a quick little question video for the vacuum tube radio enthusiasts. This isn't so much a radio as it is an amplifier. It's a stereophonic amplifier, I believe by AWA Australia. I notice that AWA on the transformers and the vacuum tubes. One of them's missing, which is this one here. However, because it's coming straight off the transformer, I'm guessing it's some kind of rectifier tube. You need a rectifier, so without that I'm not going to be able to run it. But I picked this up years and years ago off the side of the road or even at the scrap metal yard, and this Samwa replacement cap cooked and blew out. And I basically left it at that. Since then it's just been moved around. I think it took a tumble off a bench at one point and broke the rivets holding this other tube base in, but the other tube isn't actually broken. Like the dark black grey material from the getter is still there. It hasn't gone white, so air hasn't gotten in. I don't know if the tube heating filaments or anything like that are still good, but it has had a few knocks and bruises. I've had it for about 4 or 5 years now, but as I gain more knowledge of audio equipment and particularly vacuum tube equipment, I'd love to get this thing going again. So I'm guessing replace all the electrolytics. There are some wax caps and things in there which will need to be replaced with modern equivalents. I don't mind making a modern Frankenstein out of whatever I can get. It doesn't have to be period equipment. I've got no casing for it, I've got no front panel, I don't even know what the 3 potentiometers do. I've got 2 pins there, which I'm guessing is a loudspeaker, and there's also a 4-pin plug there which says A, B, and then there's 2 others. So one's going to be input, I'm guessing that's input, and that's probably output, so it might even be a mono amp. Not too sure. I'll pop these tubes out and just turn it over, and you can have a look at the underside. There's a combination cap there as well. I'm guessing being another electrolytic, it'd be fairly well past its use by date. That's the kind of thing where I just gut the thing and stuff a couple of modern electrolytics inside it. Yeah, as I said before, I have both of these tubes. Again, it's KT66. And these ones here must be the preamps. I'm assuming it's dual channel since there's 2 output tubes and 2 of these preamps. And that's a 12AU7A, and so is this one here. It's hard to read, but I was able to read it through that rust stain. Evidently they're supposed to have a shield over the top of them. I don't have them either. But both of those tubes are intact, so are those 2. The other one's in my spare room in a box of other miscellaneous vacuum tubes. They're all wrapped up and preserved. Yeah, the rest of the chassis is fairly intact, and I'm guessing that's mains input because we have some thick heavy wire going out to the base of what I assume is the rectifier, so that'd be heater 5 volts, and the rest of it will be actual control voltage. So one of these wires is going to be a common, one's going to be 110 volts, one's going to be 240, I'm guessing. That's going to be probably the hardest part of this, short of finding out exactly what it is and what goes in this socket here. Although I'm sure there's a few different rectifier tubes that would work. But I'll show you the underside just so you can get an idea. And that'll be the audio output transformer, which actually does look like it goes across to this socket. So that's probably the speaker socket there, left and right. I don't know what else is missing or been ripped off the back here. It's basically as I found it. I think there were some pieces of timber screwed to the bottom of it, like rotted out plywood, and that was it. The thing was a mess. Like, it was just mouldy, nasty mess. Okay, well, looking at the underside, there's not a lot to it. Evidently this is the main power transformer, because you've got 2 thick wires going to the base of this socket here, as well as 2 thin ones which come off, one off that side, one off the other side, going to these 2 pins. So they're probably the higher voltages, like 60 volts or so. I don't know what, I think vacuum tubes even run higher, maybe 100 and something volts. But there's also two thick ones here, and then coming off. That's a dud cap. I think that's the one that kind of tried to blow its load on me when I first powered it up years ago. That goes to the base of one of the tube sockets, one of the output sockets. That one there, it's a 30 microfarad. 25, 65. Hard to tell what kind of value that is. It does say 30 on it, but I've got 25, 65, 83. Not too sure on that one. Again, that one there, 89, 24, 450 to, oh okay, that's capacitance, 24 microfarad, 450 to 325 volt, 25 microfarad, 65 to 85 volt. Okay, so yeah, that's alright. Paper caps, not too sure. That's 1 microfarad. Some other interesting old components in this thing. Not a lot of them, not too hard to repair. But whatever that is, might be input. There's solid connectors right across these potentiometers. It really isn't much to it. I think it is actually a mono amplifier, because you've only got chassis ground, and then you got 1 and 2 wires going to these potentiometers, so it probably is a mono amp. It's kind of cool. Now there's a cut wire coming off the base of that vacuum tube there, which is one of the preamps. Yeah, I'm not too sure what's actually missing from this. Looks like the only cut wire. I don't know where it'd go. Hell, for a reasonable price I'd post it out to somebody who knows what they're doing with these and just get them to at least make it work. So the wax cap, 400 volts. Yeah, interesting. Oh, I've had this thing on the shelf for years. It doesn't really matter if it sits around for a while longer, but it'd be nice to make it work. Oh, well, a bit of a look at an antique stereo, or probably mono amplifier. Thanks for watching.